I spent a lifetime looking for you. Single does and too many hunters, ever true. Fool's game, hoping to win. And spending hours glassing and losing again. I was looking for deer in all the wrong places, looking for deer in too many places, searching my binos, looking for traces of what I'm dreaming of, hoping to find fucking stalkable cover. I blast the day I discover you, looking for deer. You can find me on iTunes in a month. And welcome back to the vlog. Exploring a brand new spot. We've not seen a deer yet. We've seen some burros. We think they're wild. Seen some cattle. Seen some cactus. Oh, we saw a random toilet. But we drove right to the edge of this big giant bluff. Overlooks a bunch of country. So tomorrow morning, first light, hopefully spot some deer off it. So we're gonna pop the camper up and we'll see you in the morning. It was a pretty morning. Overlooked a pile of country, but we didn't see any deer. Back to the camper now. So we're gonna have second breakfast, then we're gonna drop down to a lower elevation and see if we can turn up a deer. Also, for anyone wondering, this little thingy here, it's a clamp-on little monopod thing, and I'm able to basically clamp this on to this little table and then set up the camera right here and film myself. So instead of having a tripod, I use this guy for a bunch of different shots. Part of exploring new areas is that sometimes you don't see anything, and we haven't seen a deer in 2 days. But seen some cool new country for sure, and we do have a full moon right now, so that might be why we're not seeing a whole lot of critters. The moon comes up shortly after dark and goes down before sunrise, and so I would imagine that there's a lot of animals out moving at night right now. This is also why my face is so lit up right now. I do also have my phone that's giving a little bit of side light. But without the phone, it's still pretty stinking bright. Like I still cast a shadow on my face, and that's from the moon. spotted this really big buck. Like, really big. Looks like a 180 plus inch buck, so we'll take it. Back to the camper. This is the buck that we saw today. This might be the biggest mule deer I've ever seen on the hoof. was comparing it to the buck that I saw a couple years ago when we filmed Anyone's Hunt, and I think this guy might be bigger frame anyway. We actually bumped him and a bunch of does. The does all stayed in this basin, but he boogied apparently because we could never turn him up again. Either way, we know where we're gonna be looking tomorrow. Another night of avoiding freeze-drieds. What's for dinner?
Tonight's menu, we have mac and cheese, potatoes, and roast beast, also known as elk.
Glassing for about 2 hours this morning, and then Karen waves me down and she spots that buck. She's set up on the spot right now, and I'm moving in. They're about a mile from where we had them yesterday. Hopefully the wind is blowing the direction that I think it is, and I can sneak in there. Here we go. Knocked, and I'm about 60 yards from this big bush where all the deer are bedded in. Oh man. There's the buck bedded, and there's like 6 does. They're just bedded. They have no idea I'm there. All of a sudden, my walkie-talkie, which I haven't been using, but it just was in my pocket. Two-way communication in Arizona is illegal. All of a sudden, my walkie-talkie just starts making this loud chatter. It just starts going. Right then, one of the does, she's like alerting up and has got her ears up. She actually walks closer to me. We're all looking at this point. They're all standing. And yeah, she blew. Bucky was in range. And all he had to do was stand up. Instead, he just went. They gone. So that was the biggest buck I've ever made a stalk on, ever. I'm disappointed. So grateful that I even had that opportunity. Couldn't have done it without Karen guiding me in. The buck lives another day. Made it back to the camper. Super fun day hunting. We've been eating really good on this trip. Fresh meals pretty much every single day. But now we've run out of fresh food, and so we've got to eat freeze-drieds. But it's not that sad of a day because we get to eat these ones. These ones are gastronom meals, based out of Bozeman, Montana. They're really good. Best freeze-drieds I've ever had. These 2 flavors are brand new to us. I've got a Mexican red chicken pozole. What do you got?
And a Thai green chicken curry.
We're gonna each take 1 bite and rank them on a scale of 1 to 10.
The goodness inside. 1 to 10?
Scale of 1 to 10.
I think it's a 10.
It can't be a 10. No, nothing's ever a 10. What
It
does
tastes
that?
like a real meal.
Yeah. Okay.
Like from a restaurant.
So you rank it a 10.
9.9 and a half.
That's what it looks like inside. It's spicy. It's like the perfect spice. Honestly, like 9.6. Really good. Nice work, gastronom. My one rule with any food, it's got to make it. Spotted the buck, got 2 miles away from where we bumped him yesterday. And he's got all of his does. They're behind this big knob, so we don't have eyes on him. But either way, I'm gonna move in and should probably be able to get within 200 yards pretty easy. And from there, it's just gonna be creeping along. Oh, that was close. I crept into 50 yards of that buck. No shot though. They eventually heard me or smelled me or something, and they all stood up, and I went to draw my bow, and all I could see, there was just like a sea of ocotillo bushes, and then I could just see the buck, and it's like, oh, maybe I could thread one through there. Probably not, so then they buggered. Day 7, 2 really good stalks in. Can't complain about that. We're gonna head back to town, shower up, hang out with the fam for a couple days, and then get back to it. If you like this vlog, hit the like button. If you want to see more, hit subscribe. Doing both would help me out a ton. We'll see you next time.